Amazon is completely mask off when it comes to how much they care about the fans, and spoiler alert, they don't. At least before, they'd kind of give lip service to it, or at least try and gaslight them, convince you that you are wrong. But now Amazon is acting like fans are more of a hindrance than anything else, and they're clearly not the target market for the Rings of Power. I say this, obviously, because the trailer, they have been deleting people over and over again, and they're still going. At least at first, when it was at 85,000 and went down to 63, and we first noticed, they didn't carry on deleting them. They waited a few weeks for people to actually shut up about it, and then they tried to do it in secret again, just like they did originally after there was the original backlash. But now, even when people make videos about it, they still just carry on deleting them the next day. That's why the last time I made a video about this, there was about 56,000 comments, and we're now down to 44,000. And there was no break. They don't care who talks about it on YouTube. They just carry on deleting them day after day, knocking them all out. And it's with a purpose, and it's for perception. Because you see, if you're watching this video, you're probably pretty switched on about what's going on and what Amazon are like and what they're doing to the Rings of Power. They've already lost you. You've already seen through the veil. What this is for are for the people that don't know that. The people that don't watch any of the videos. The people who just hear it from their friend and look up the trailer, and they may scroll a quick bit and they just see it. And as you can see here, if you go through, what they've done is they've deleted all of the one-line quotes. So as you scroll, it looks very varied, and there's lots of big, bulky paragraphs here, which quite frankly, nowadays, most people aren't even going to bother to read. The power of the original quote, that it was one line, and the moment you scrolled, it hit you. And some people have been saying that they removed this because it was very spammy and they just wanted to clean it up, but that can't be true, because if you go on the UK trailer, they didn't touch theirs. And as you can see here, it carries far more weight because you just scroll and you can tell something's going on here when people keep repeating the same thing in different languages. And if they were worried about spam, they'd be worried about spam on the UK trailer as well, and it would all get hit by whatever bots they were using. But they're not. All they're doing is they're making it so that this looks varied, this looks different. At a cursory glance, you won't see it. And they weren't the only people that realized it. You saw in the articles themselves, people trying to humiliate others for using that paraphrased quote. Oh, if you're going to be mad about the Rings of Power, at least get your quotes right. The reason why they tried to do this, they tried to use shame and humiliation to get people to change what they're saying, is because of the weight it carried. Because scrolling through this trailer carries a lot more weight than scrolling through this one, even though they say basically the same thing. Because this is varied, because it's not one message, because it's not one voice, and it's not simple and fast and quick and easy to read, no one's ever going to read it. Because a paraphrase has gone through thousands or hundreds of thousands of people, and they've taken the meaning of the original quote and distilled it down into its purest form to get it across efficiently and effectively, essentially a meme. And that is almost always more powerful than the original quote. No matter how well phrased the original quote was, that will still have only come from one person and not benefited from the wisdom of hundreds of thousands of people cumulatively. And you've seen this for decades. All of the good tactics, all of the good things were shamed and humiliated. They were said that this is bad, that you can't do this. And the reason was because it had power, because it was standing against what they wanted to achieve. And that's how you can always tell if you're annoying the right people by doing something, it's because it carries weight and you should probably carry on doing it. It's easy to write off as articles like this as, oh, you're just stupid because you don't understand what a paraphrase is, but what it really comes down to is that they were angry at it because it worked. And when the soft systems of power and control don't work, they immediately go over to the hard ones, and that is when they just start mass deleting things. Oh, we're going to try and do it in secret, but if that doesn't work, if we get caught, we're just going to do it anyway. It is interesting to know why they're ramping it up now. It's been about 5,000 a day, even after they got caught. I don't know whether they're prepping for another marketing push or whether they're going to push something out that they think will drive people to the trailer, and they don't want all these fresh eyes seeing the abomination of what happened to their actual trailer. No, we'll just put a fresh coat of paint on that, no one will realize. But the issue is eventually, when you keep trying to do that, when you're constantly in search of new, ignorant people that don't know what you've done before, eventually you're going to run out of audience. And if they keep doing this already when we're months out from the show, it does beg the question, how many people are going to be left not knowing about this by the time the show gets launched? Because each individual doesn't need to know about it. Only enough people to actually spread the word to others about what on earth is going on. Shows like this are driven by hype. Word of mouth matters. And I think that's probably what they're most scared of. Squid Game didn't become mega popular because it had a massive marketing budget. It became mega popular because everybody told everybody they knew how great it was and that they should watch it. And the same can definitely happen in reverse. Because they're not actually marketing this to fans of Lord of the Rings. If you've read the books, they probably don't care about you. It turns out they think those people are too high maintenance. They take too much upkeep, too much work to actually get there. But most of all, it means they can't do what they want. If they please the fans, then that means they can't change it, chop things up, put their own characters in. And that's what's really important to them. So their only option then is to keep people in the dark, and that is why they've been deleting these. And this is why they no longer care who notices. At first, they tried to keep people on side, tried to censor people, but in silence, hoping that no one would know, when their backs were turned, when they stopped paying attention. But now it really does look like they've given up. The people that this is targeted at, they're only going to see it once and go away. They're not going to come back and see whether the comments are there. We're not going to look at the 1.4 million downvotes and be like, oh, there's something going on here. And they're never going to know that actually, if you add up all the comments that have been deleted, Amazon has deleted over 50%. They've deleted the majority of comments on the video. Because while before it was around 85 and now it's at 44, that doesn't include all the actual times it went up. Because every time anyone made these videos, people went back and re-commented in their hundreds or their thousands, and then it went down again from there. So we are well over the 50% mark at this point. But what really gets me is that the decision to do this, it wasn't just done by one guy. There's not one guy in marketing who's just decided, oh yeah, I'm going to go around and delete 40,000 comments of my own. This would have gone through meetings. This would have been signed off by people. Multiple people thought that this was a good marketing strategy. And it just goes to show, if you start hiring people based off ideology, what you end up with is talentless hacks, and they will destroy your company and destroy your property because they have no idea what they're doing. Because that's not the reason you hired them in the first place. You didn't hire them because they were good at their job. You hired them because they fit in with what you wanted, with your corporate culture. Which always struck me as weird, because the only culture a company should have is one about making money. Because the thing is, what you're doing here by censoring these people, yeah, you may not care about the people you deleted, you may not care, Amazon, about the opinions or what you're making those people think. It's because they've decided to not care about the hardcore fans, and don't care about the people who are here paying attention months before it's even released. The issue they've got is those are the people that will be there cheerleading or cheerleading against your IP when it's launched. Those same people which never cared about your show before, they're not going to go and talk about it when it's actually out. They're not going to be buying your stuff. They're not going to be free marketing going around telling all their friends, setting up fan sites, creating memes, posting your stuff all over the internet, generating hype that your marketing company could never even hope to achieve with millions of dollars. And yet, those are the people that you're ejecting out of the window. Not just ejecting, but forcefully telling that you don't care about their opinion because you are actually deleting them. Because they don't fit your shiny, polished image that you want in here. Because I can even see the rebuttal now. Oh, well, they've left negative comments up. It's like, yeah, but what they've done is curated an image so that anyone doing a cursory scroll won't realize what happened. That's the point. They were never going to find good comments here. But what they can do is remove the sheer impact that you get when you do something like scroll like this and it's just all one line repeating the same thing. That is what they were scared of. That was the power of the original response, and that is what they needed to remove. But what do you think about them deleting comments? And do you think that them deleting over 50% of the comments on their video will actually achieve anything? Let me know down in the comments below. If you like the video, press like, subscribe, more videos like this in the future, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.